Good morning. I'm Jay Johnson, Secretary of Homeland Security. I'm sure everyone here knows who the gentlemen to my right and left are. At the 9/11 ceremony last week, the four of us decided that we would get together to talk about Homeland Security here in the New York, New Jersey region. And so we just had a very productive hour or so with among ourselves, with law enforcement, Homeland Security officials in New York and New Jersey and in New York City. We face an evolving potential terrorist threat to the homeland and to the region. As I see it, Homeland Security increasingly depends upon cooperation between federal, state, and local law enforcement, first responders, Homeland Security officials. And so partnerships like those you see reflected here today are increasingly important as we go forward. And that's what brought us here together with our law enforcement and Homeland Security officials. And that's why we're here. We're going to continue this dialogue. I think it is fair to say that the four of us have a very good working as well as a very good personal relationship to provide an example for those who work for us. And we're going to continue this dialogue. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to Governor Cuomo.
Thank you. Thank you very much. First, I'd like to thank Secretary Johnson for his help, his partnership. The federal government and the resources of the federal government have been an extraordinary help to our region, and we all want to thank them. Also to my colleagues, Governor Christie, I want to thank him for his partnership, friendship, and cooperation, and certainly Mayor Bill de Blasio for all the work that he's done and that we've been able to do together. As elected officials, public safety is paramount. And as we are all aware, there are obviously heightened tensions with terrorist groups and the terrorist network internationally. The terrorist network itself is larger and more complex and more sophisticated than it's ever been. It's no longer just Al-Qaeda, it's Hamas, it's Hezbollah, it's ISIL, it's Al-Shabaab, and it is a threat not just in the Middle East, but to Europe and to America. I was in Israel a few weeks ago and talking to them about their situation, and the one point they made over and over again, they said Americans make a mistake if they think this is a Middle East crisis. This is an international crisis. And the Israeli intelligence officials said, you will see this spread, you will see it go to Europe, and then you will see it go to the United States of America, and I believe that is true. When it comes to terrorism, we have suffered much, and we have learned much. We suffered and learned from the '93 World Trade Center attacks. We suffered and learned from 9/11, obviously. And we would be in a state of denial if we did not say, with what's going on internationally, that the risk of a threat to us has increased. Well, we're not in a state of denial. We're in the state of New York, and the state of New York is the state of New York because it's always been proactive. And that's what we've been talking about today. And the meeting we just had was very, very helpful, bringing together all partners to share information. The state of New York and the state of New Jersey are taking this responsibility very seriously. We will be working in a coordinative fashion and bringing together the respective officials in Homeland Security and security and in police public safety. We believe there is a need for action and immediacy, and we will have the first report done in 10 days, an interim report that we can review. and that will then be on an ongoing basis. So we are doing everything we can to make sure all resources are coordinated and everyone is on the same page. As we discussed upstairs, we have tremendous resources in the New York, New Jersey area. It is also a very complicated part of the country, and we want to make sure we're doing everything we can to facilitate that cooperation. To the extent we have to increase resources, we will. To the extent we have to increase personnel, we will. We want the people of New York and New Jersey to rest assured that everything is being done to make sure that their public safety is job one. And everyone should have confidence in the systems and the expertise that has been put together over these years and is keeping them safe every day. Again, thank you to Secretary Johnson for his leadership, to my colleagues, Governor Christie and Mayor de Blasio. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank you also to Secretary Johnson for his efforts and for the work that he does and the people that he leads every day does on behalf of our region and our country. Let's say this to add to what Governor Cuomo said. We've had the opportunity to talk a number of times over the last few days about the seriousness and the intensity of the threat that now faces us, especially in light of the path that the President has enunciated in his speech to the nation last week. And our job, the job of myself and Governor Cuomo, as we see it, is to lead and make sure that the appropriate amount of intensity is being brought to the task of protecting our region. And that's why we've issued the directive we have to our state police and to our Homeland Security advisors to do an initial review and then a complete review of the way we're protecting our assets and our people in this region. Those reviews will come back to myself and to the governor, and we will take, as he mentioned, whatever steps are appropriate and necessary, recommended by law enforcement, and in our judgment necessary for the protection of our people in our region to make sure that we are responding appropriately to the current threat. And so I thank the governor for, like this and many other issues, our partnership over the last number of years in making sure that we're doing our jobs for the people of this very interconnected region in a way that's going to keep us safe. I spent 7 years as a U.S. Attorney in the immediate aftermath of September 11th. I'm acutely aware of what's been done during those 7 years and what has continued to be done since I left that position. But we need to make sure that we are ahead of the curve on this and not in a responsive mode, but as Governor Cuomo put, in a proactive mode to make sure we're doing everything that needs to be done to protect the people of our region. So thank the Secretary again. I thank Governor Cuomo for his partnership and friendship, and I'm pleased to bring Mayor de Blasio to the podium as well for remarks. Mayor?
Thank you very much. Well, as New Yorkers, we know our city is the #1 terror target in this country. We know the metropolitan region equally is a target, a priority target, sadly, but that does not change our resolve. We are undaunted in the work we do every day, the work we do together to ward off these threats, to always be vigilant, to always apply the resources we need. I think it is a blessing for New York City and for the whole metropolitan region that we have a Homeland Security Secretary who is one of us. Secretary Johnson fully understands this region, lives in New Jersey, has worked in New York, understands it fundamentally, and for us, I think all of us, that creates a different and deeper kind of partnership as we do our work every day. I want to commend Governor Cuomo and Governor Christie. They have established the kind of partnership that we don't see enough of in government. It played out very powerfully during an event that you don't think about much now because it went well by every measure of security and preparation. It went so well, which was the Super Bowl, the biggest, most important event in the entertainment world each year, anywhere in the world. These two states worked together. We were honored in New York City to be a part of it. The security preparations, we can all acknowledge, were extraordinary, intricate, elaborate, and the security dynamics came off without a hitch. That's what's possible here in this region. I also want to commend the members of my team who are here today and are so crucial in protecting our city, our Police Commissioner, Bill Bratton, our Fire Commissioner, Dan Nigro, our Emergency Management Commissioner, Joe Esposito. They are working seamlessly together as well. So I think the point is we understand the kind of target we are, we understand the moment in global history, we understand the need for vigilance. How we address that is with extraordinary collaboration and teamwork, and with the kind of support at the federal government that is exemplary for the times we're living in. Thank you.